Today we are going to do the lesson Topi Shukla, written by Rahi Masum Riza, taken from grade 10, Sparsh Part 2 textbook and chapter 3. Topi Shukla. Yes, children, this is the lesson we are going to do today. And I request all of you to just open your lessons, just start and read the lesson along with me. Keep marking the difficult words and write the answers for them. This way, by the time I finish the lesson, you will also be able to learn the lesson thoroughly. Okay, just let's start off. इफ़न के बारे में कुछ जान लेना इसलिए जरूरी है कि इफ़न टोपी का पहला दोस्त था. It is important to know about Iffan in this story because Iffan was Topi's or Shukla Topi's first friend. इस Iffan को Topi ने सदा Iffan कहा. Now Topi would always pronounce his name in a wrong way. Iffan ने इसका बुरा माना and Iffan used to feel bad also about it. परंतु वह Iffan पुकारने पर बोलता रहा. But whenever he would be addressed as Iffan, he would tell Shukla that was a wrong pronunciation. इसी बोलते रहने में उसकी बड़ाई थी. Now, that was the greatness of Iffan. He would never fight with Shukla, rather he would keep reminding him that he was pronouncing his name in a wrong way. बड़ाई here refers to greatness. यह नामों का चक्कर भी अजीब होता है. This game of names is also really weird or strange, you can say. अजीब means weird. उर्दू और हिंदी एक ही भाषा हिंदवी के दो नाम है. Now, the language Hindvi is known as Urdu as well as Hindi. परंतु आप खुद देख लीजिए कि नाम बदल जाने से कैसे कैसे घपले हो रहे हैं. But now you yourself see, when there is a change in the name, what kind of troubles happen. Here घपला means troubles. नाम कृष्ण हो तो उसे अवतार कहते हैं. If the name is Krishna, he is considered to be an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Here avatar means incarnation. Or Muhammad ho to Paigambar. And if the name is Paigambar, he is known as a messenger of God. Here Paigambar is messenger of God. So Muhammad is known as the messenger of God and Sri Krishna is known as the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. नामों के चक्कर में पड़कर लोग यह भूल गए कि दोनों ही दूध देने वाले जानवर चराया करते थे. Now, in the game of names, people just happen to forget that both Sri Krishna as well as Muhammad, they used to graze animals in the field. Both of them were doing the same job. जानवर चराया करते थे means they used to take animals to the fields and open areas and make them feed. दोनों ही पशुपति गोवर्धन और ब्रज कुमार थे. Both of them were पशुपति गोवर्धन and ब्रज कुमार. इसीलिए तो कहता हूं कि टोपी के बिना इफ़न और इफ़न के बिना टोपी न केवल यह कि अधूरे हैं बल्कि बेमानी है. That is why the author says that without Topi, to mention about Iffan without Topi and Topi without Iffan is not only incomplete, it is also not right. Adhura means incomplete. Bemani means not right. इसलिए Iffan के घर चलना जरूरी है. That is the reason why it is important to go to Iffan's house. यह देखना जरूरी है कि उसकी आत्मा के आंगन में कैसी हवाएं चल रही हैं. It is important to know how are his feelings. Here, आत्मा के आंगन में कैसी हवाएं चल रही हैं means how is he being brought up, what kind of feelings is he having. और परंपराओं के पेड़ पर, परंपराओं के पेड़ पर means the kind of traditions that he is being brought up. What are those traditions? पर कैसे फल आ रहे हैं means what kind of fruit are those traditions bearing. What the author refers to say is that he wants to know what kind of environment is he being brought up in. I hope you understood, children. इफन की कहानी भी बहुत लंबी है. Even Ifan's story is very long. परंतु हम लोग टोपी की कहानी कह सुन रहे हैं. But we are narrating and listening to टोपी story. इसीलिए मैं इफन की पूरी कहानी नहीं सुनाऊंगा. So the author says that I'm not going to narrate the entire story of Ifan because we are concentrating on Topi Shukla. बल्कि केवल उतना ही सुनाऊंगा जितनी टोपी की कहानी के लिए जरूरी है. I'll be only narrating that much of part of Ifan's story which is necessary for Topi's story. मैंने इसे जरूरी माना कि इफन के बारे में आपको कुछ बता दूं क्योंकि इफन आपको इस कहानी में जगह जगह दिखाई देगा. Now I considered it important to mention about Ifan because you will find Ifan in the story very often being mentioned. Here, जगह जगह दिखाएगा means you will find Ifan very often in the story. ना टोपी इफन की परछाई है और ना इफन टोपी की. Neither is Topi Ifan's shadow or nor is Ifan Topi's. Here, parchai means shadow. What the author means to say is that it's not that they are very close to each other. ये दोनों दो आजाद व्यक्ति हैं. Both of them are two independent people. आजाद means independent. इन दोनों व्यक्तियों का डेवलपमेंट एक दूसरे से आजाद तौर पर हुआ. Now both these people, they were brought up or they grew up totally independent of each other's ways. Here development means they're bringing up. इन दोनों को दो तरह की घरेलू परंपराएं मिली. Both of them got two different kinds of homely traditions. Here घरेलू परंपराएं means homely traditions. इन दोनों ने जीवन के बारे में अलग अलग सोचा and both of them thought very differently about life. फिर भी इफन टोपी की कहानी का एक अटूट हिस्सा है. Still, Ifan is a very inseparable part of Topi's story. Children, here अटूट means inseparable, with a very important part. यह बात बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है कि इफन टोपी की कहानी का एक अटूट हिस्सा है. Now this matter is very important that Ifan is a very inseparable part of Topi's story. Again children, अटूट हिस्सा होना means be a very important part or inseparable part of something. मैं हिंदू मुस्लिम भाई भाई की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं. I am not talking about Hindu Muslims being referred to as brothers always. मैं यह बेवकूफी क्यों करूं? Why should I behave like this in a silly way? बेवकूफी means something that is silly. क्या मैं रोज अपने बड़े या छोटे भाई से यह कहता हूं कि हम दोनों भाई भाई हैं? I don't keep telling my elder or my younger brother every day that we are brothers. यदि मैं नहीं कहता तो क्या आप कहते हैं? If I don't say, do you say or do you tell your brothers or sisters that we are brothers every day? हिंदू मुसलमान अगर भाई भाई हैं तो कहने की जरूरत नहीं. If Hindus and Muslims they are brothers, which actually is, then there is no need to mention it. यदि नहीं है and if they are not, तो कहने से क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? If they do not have the feeling of brotherhood among themselves, then just by telling that we are brothers, do you think it will make a difference? क्या फर्क पड़ेगा means what difference will it make? मुझे कोई चुनाव तो लड़ना नहीं है. I don't have to fight any elections. What the author means to say is that during elections, they say all these things that we are all brothers in order to attract more people to vote them. But here the author, he is just a plain storyteller. So for him, there is no need for telling all this. मैं तो एक कथाकार हूँ और एक कथा सुना रहा हूँ. I'm a storyteller and I'm narrating a story. Here कथाकार means storyteller. मैं टोपी और इफन की बात कर रहा हूँ. I'm talking about टोपी and इफन plainly. ये इस कहानी के दो चरित्र हैं. चरित्र means characters. They are two characters of this story. एक का नाम बलभद्र नारायण शुक्ला है. One is known as बलभद्र नारायण शुक्ला और दूसरे का नाम सैयद जरगाम मुर्तुजा. And the other person's full name is सैयद जरगाम मुर्तुजा. एक को टोपी कहा गया और दूसरे को इफ़न. Now, Narayan Shukla has been referred to as Topi in the story, and Sayyid Jargam Murtuza has been referred to as Iffin. इफ़न के दादा और परदादा बहुत प्रसिद्ध मौलवी थे. Now, Iffin's grandfather and great-grandfather were famous clerics. Now, here, Dada means grandfather, Pardada means great-grandfather, and Maulvi means cleric. काफिरों के देश में पैदा हुए. Kafir means non-Muslims. They took birth in a country of non-Muslims. काफिरों के देश में मरे, and they died in a country of non-Muslims. परंतु वसीयत करके मरे कि लाश करबला ले जाई जाए. But they made a will. Will is something that people, when they're dying, they make, normally dividing their property among their children and all. So whatever they wish for towards the end of their life, that is contained in the will. So they made a will that their dead bodies should be taken to Karbala. Now, Lash means dead bodies, and Karbala means it's a religious place where, people after death, they prefer to be buried. It's a place in the Islam religion. उनकी आत्मा ने इस देश में एक सांस तक न ली. Their soul did not take even a single breath in this country. आत्मा means soul. उस खानदान में जो पहला हिंदुस्तानी बच्चा पैदा हुआ, वह बढ़कर इफ़न का बाप हुआ. And the first Indian child who was born in their family, he was Iffin's father. He grew up to be Iffin's father. Khandan means in their family. Badkar means after growing up, became Iffin's father. जब इफ़िन के पिता सैयद मुर्तुजा हुसैन मरे, तो उन्होंने यह वसीयत नहीं की कि उनकी लाश करबला ले जाई जाए. When Iffin's father, Sayyid Murtuja Hussain, died, he did not write the will that his body be taken to Karbala. वसीयत means will. वह एक हिंदुस्तानी कब्रिस्तान में दफन किए गए. He was buried in an Indian graveyard. दफन means bury and कब्रिस्तान means graveyard. इफ़िन की परदादी भी बड़ी नमाजी बीबी थी. Even Iffin's great grandma was a very religious lady. She would read namaz or Quran every day. Now, namazi means someone who reads Quran every day, who's very religious. करबला, नजफ, खुरासान, काजमैन और जाने कहाँ की यात्रा कर आई थी. She had visited all these religious places, and these are considered religious in Islam religion. परंतु जब कोई घर से जाने लगता, तो वह दरवाजे पर पानी का एक घड़ा जरूर रखवाती और माश का सदका भी जरूर उतरवाती. Now, normally in Islamic religion, I think this is not followed. That is why the author says that in spite of her being very religious, what she would do, that whenever someone would go out of the house, she would keep a pot of water near the door, and then she would, do some sadqa. Sadqa means it's a small short prayer which is done for so that no evil eye falls on the person going out and that he comes back safe. So mash ka sadqa means a sort of short prayer. इफ़िन की दादी भी नमाज रोजे की पाबंद थी. Even Iffin's grandma, she was very much tied to fasting and reading the Quran. पाबंद थी means she was very much tied to them. परंतु जब इकलौते बेटे को चेचक निकली, तो वह चारपाई के पास एक टांग पर खड़ी हुई और बोली. But when her only son, he got chicken pox, she stood on one leg near the cot and she prayed to the goddess that Mata, मोरे बच्चे को माफ कर दियो, please forgive my son. because in Hinduism, it is considered that when one gets chickenpox, it's a form of the goddess anger or the goddess coming out in that person's body. So they feel that because some mistake has happened somewhere, that person is suffering. So his mother, she even prayed to that God, even though she was a very religious lady, uh, reading Quran every day, doing a lot of fasting, everything. पूरब की रहने वाली थी. Now, Iffin's grandma, she belonged to the eastern part. 9 या 10 बरस की थी जब ब्याह कर लखनऊ आई. She was hardly 9 or 10 years old when she got married and she came to Lucknow. परंतु जब तक जिंदा रही पूर्वी बोलती रही. As long as she was alive, she spoke only the language she had spoken in her mother's place. That is Purbi language. Lucknow ki Urdu ससुराली थी. The Urdu language which was spoken in Lucknow, it was like her in-laws' house. They were speaking that kind of a Urdu. वह तो मायके की भाषा को गले लगाए रही. But she always spoke only her own parents' language, the language that she had learned from her childhood. क्योंकि इस भाषा के सिवा इधर उधर कोई ऐसा नहीं था जो उनके दिल की बात समझता. Because other than this language, there was no one else who would understand her feelings. Here, she was so much attached to her language, and they are telling the reason why. Because she used to feel that when she would speak in her language itself would understand her feelings. जब बेटे की शादी के दिन आए तो गाने बजाने के लिए उनका दिल फड़का. When it was time for her son to get married, so she became very restless and she wanted to dance around and sing around. परंतु मौलवी के घर गाना बजाना भला कैसे हो सकता था? But it was not possible to dance and sing in a cleric's house. बेचारी दिल महसूस कर रह गई. Now children, this dil mahsoos kar reh gayi, reh jana, it could be, it is a muhavra. It can come in your exam. So dil mahsoos kar reh jana means to be left heartbroken. Poor thing, she was heartbroken when she was not allowed to sing and dance. Now dil mahsoos kar reh jana is a muhavra which means dil toot jana. हाँ, इफ़न की छठी पर उन्होंने जी भरकर जश्न मना लिया. But what she did was, when it was the 6th day of the birth of her son, of her grandson rather, then she literally celebrated it to the content of her heart. So here Chatti means the 6th day. The 6th day of the birth of her grandson. On that day, ji bharkar means to her heart's content. Jashna means celebration. She celebrated it. की दादी किसी मौलवी की बेटी नहीं थी, बल्कि एक जमींदार की बेटी थी. Iffin's grandma, paternal grandma, she was not the daughter of a cleric, rather she was the daughter of a landlord. Here Maulvi means cleric and zamindar means landlord. दूध घी खाती हुई आई थी. Here what it refers to is milk. Now, she had come from a family which was quite rich, and from there she had been brought up drinking milk, eating ghee, which is clarified butter. परंतु लखनऊ आकर वह उस दही के लिए तरस गई जो घी पिलाई हुई काली हांडियों में असामियों के यहाँ से आया करता था. Now, when she came to Lucknow after marriage, she craved for that pure natural curd which used to be brought to her house from the house of Assamese, and there it would be made in a very natural way in black clay pots, which I have shown in the picture. This is a black clay pot. In that they used to make curd, and it used to be very tasty with a very natural taste and flavor. बस मायके जाती तो लपट शपट जी भर के खा लेती. So whenever she would go to her parents' house, she would eat this ghee and doodh and curd to her heart's content. Maike means parents' house and lapat chapat means to her heart's content. लखनऊ आते ही सॉरी लखनऊ आते ही उन्हें फिर मौलविन बन जाना पड़ता. After coming to Lucknow, again she would have to become a cleric's wife. Maulvin means cleric's wife. अपने मियाँ से उन्हें यही तो एक शिकायत थी कि वक्त देखे ना मौका, बस मौलवी ही बने रहते हैं. The only complaint she had from her husband was that he wouldn't see any moments or situations or any time. All the time he would just be a strict cleric. शिकायत means complaint. ससुराल में उनकी आत्मा सदा बेचैन रही. In her in-laws' house, she was always restless. Sasural means in-law, in-law's place. Atma means her soul. What they mean to say is that she was always unhappy or restless there. Bechain rahi means she used to be a bit sad, upset and restless. जब मरने लगी तो बेटे ने पूछा कि लाश करबला जाएगी या नजफ, तो बिगड़ गई. So when she was about to die, her son asked her whether they should take her dead body to the religious place called Karbala or Nazaf. At that, she got angry. Now here bigad gayi means she got irritated and angry. ए बेटा, जाऊं तू से हमरी लाश ना संभाली जाए त हमरे घर भेज दिहो. Now she was speaking the pure language which is spoken in a village. And she was telling that, oh my son, if you can't take care of my dead body, send my dead body to my parents' house. They will take care of it. सर पर थी इसलिए उन्हें यह याद नहीं रह गया कि अब घर कहाँ है. She was about to die, so she did not remember where her house is. मौत सर पर थी means she was about to die. घर वाले कराची में हैं और घर कस्टोडियन का हो चुका है. Her people are in Karachi and that the house has been taken over by custodian. Custodian is the wealth department which takes over property on which there is no claim. मरते वक्त किसी को ऐसी छोटी छोटी बातें भला कैसे याद रह सकती हैं? How can one remember such small things when one is about to die? उस वक्त तो मनुष्य अपने सबसे ज्यादा खूबसूरत सपने देखता है. At that time, a person sees his most beautiful dreams when he's about to die. खूबसूरत means beautiful, सपने means dreams. यह कथाकार का ख्याल है क्योंकि वह अभी तक मरा नहीं है. Now, this is what the storyteller thinks because he is still alive. इफ़न की दादी को भी अपना घर याद आया. Even Iffin's grandma, she remembered her house. उस घर का नाम कच्ची हवेली था. The name of her house was Kachi Haveli. Kachi इसलिए कि वह मिट्टी की बनी थी. It was known as Kachi because it was made up of mud. उन्हें दशहरी आम का वह बीजू पेड़ याद आया जो उन्होंने अपने हाथ से लगाया था और जो उन्हीं की तरह बूढ़ा हो चुका था. She also thought about that mango tree which was known as Dashari mango, which she had planted with her own hands, and now it was as old as she was. Here Dashari Aam means it's a variety of mango. Biju Paid means the tree which has come out of a seed. Biju means seed and Paid means tree. ऐसी ही छोटी छोटी और मीठी मीठी बेशुमार चीजें याद आई. She thought of such small and sweet things. बेशुमार means a lot of. वह उन चीजों को छोड़कर भला करबला या नजफ कैसे जा सकती थी? How could she go to Karbala or Najaf leaving all these things behind? वह बनारस के फातमैन में दफन की गई. She was buried in Fatman in Banaras दफन की गई means she was buried. क्योंकि मुर्तजा हुसैन की पोस्टिंग उन दिनों वहीं थी because Murtaza Hussain was posted in Banaras during those days. Ifan स्कूल गया हुआ था. Ifan had gone to school. नौकर ने आकर खबर दी कि बीबी का देहांत हो गया. So the servant, he came and gave the news that his wife had expired. खबर दी means gave the news. देहांत हो गया means has died. Ifan की दादी बीबी कही जाती थी. She was known as Bibi. Ifan's grandma, she was known as Bibi. Ifan तब चौथे में पढ़ता था. Ifan was studying in grade 4 at the time when his grandma expired. चौथे में means fourth. और टोपी से उसकी मुलाकात हो चुकी थी. And at that time he had already met Topi Shukla. मुलाकात means meeting. Ifan को अपनी दादी से बड़ा प्यार था. Ifan used to love his grandma a lot. प्यार तो उसे अपने अब्बू, अपनी अम्मी, अपनी बीजी और छोटी बहन नुज़हत से भी था. He used to love even his Abu. Here Abu means father. अपनी अम्मी means mother. बाजी, sorry, it is not बीजी. बाजी means elder sister और छोटी बहन नुज़हत. She used to love all of them. परंतु दादी से वह जरा ज्यादा प्यार किया करता था. But he used to love his grandma a lot. अम्मी तो कभी कभार डांट मार लिया करती थी. अम्मी at times used to even scold him, not her, sorry. कभी कभार means at times. डांट मार लिया करती थी means she used to scold him. बाजी का भी यही हाल था. बाजी means his elder sister. She was also same type. She would scold him at times. अब्बू भी कभी कभार घर को कचहरी समझकर फैसला सुनाने लगते थे. Even his father, sometimes he would take the house as a court. कचहरी means court, and he will announce decisions. फैसला means decisions. नुज़हत को जब मौका मिलता उसकी कॉपियों पर तस्वीरें बनाने लगती थी. And his younger sister Nuzhat, whenever she would get a chance, she would start making pictures on his notebook. मौका मिलता means whenever she would get a chance. तस्वीरें means pictures. बस एक दादी थी जिन्होंने कभी उसका दिल नहीं दुखाया. But only his grandma was there who had never hurt him. दिल नहीं दुखाया means who never hurt him. वह रात को भी उसे बहराम डाकू, अनार परी, 12 बुर्ज, अमीर हमजा, गुलब कावली, हातिम ताई, पंचफुल्ला, रानी की कहानियां सुनाया करती थी. In the night, she used to tell him lots of stories, and they have mentioned here the names of the stories that she used to narrate to him. This way, he was very much attached to his grandma because she was very loving. She never scolded him, and she would tell him a lot of stories in the night time. सोता है संसार, जागता है पाक परवरदिगार. The entire world sleeps at that time. The pure, the Lord, he is always awake. पाक means pure, परवरदिगार means God. आंखों की देखी नहीं कहती. I don't say what I've just seen with my eyes. कानों की सुनी कहती हूँ कि एक मुल्क में एक बादशाह रहा. And this is how she used to narrate stories. What she had heard from others, she would narrate. Now, मुल्क means country. बादशाह means king. दादी की भाषा पर वह कभी नहीं मुस्कराया. Her language was a bit different. Her parents' house, where she grew up, they used to speak a different kind of language, which was very villagish. But if one never smiled at her language, उसे तो अच्छी भली लगती थी. He always used to like her language. परंतु अब्बू नहीं बोलने देते थे. But his father never would let him speak his mother's language. और जब वह दादी से इसकी शिकायत करता तो वह हंस पड़ती. So when his father used to scold him, asking him not to speak that language, he would complain to his grandma about that, and she would laugh it off. शिकायत करता means complain. मोरा का है, बेटा अनपढ़ गंवारन की बोली तू काहे को बोले लग्यो. So she tells him, don't worry about me. Why do you want to speak the language of an illiterate village lady? Here, unpad means illiterate, gavaran means who belongs to a gaon or village. तू अपने अब्बा की ही बोली बोलो. You speak the language of your father. बात खत्म हो जाती और कहानी शुरू हो जाती. With that, that matter would finish and she would start telling a story to him. त ऊ बादशाह का किहिस की तुरंते एक ठो हिरन मार लियावा. So something, that story that she narrates in her own language. Here what she is telling is that king's servant killed a deer and brought. यही बोली टोपी के दिल में उतर गई थी. And the same language Topi Shukla also just absorbed in himself. He also liked it. दिल में उतर जाना means somewhat got attached to it. इफ़न की दादी उसे अपनी माँ की पार्टी की दिखाई दी. He felt as if Iffin's grandma, because of her language, she was always similar to his mother. अपनी दादी से तो उसे नफरत थी. He used to hate his grandma. We are talking about Topi Shukla. Nafrat means hatred. जाने कैसे भाषा बोलती थी. She used to talk a very different kind of language. इफ़न के अब्बू और उसकी भाषा एक थी. Iffin's father's and his, Topi Shukla's grandmother's language was similar. वह जब इफ़न के घर जाता तो उसकी दादी ही के पास बैठने की कोशिश करता. So whenever Topi Shukla would go to Iffin's house, he would try to sit near his grandma. इफ़न की अम्मी और बाजी से वह बातचीत करने की भी कभी कोशिश ही ना करता. He would never even try to talk to Iffin's mother, or बाजी means elder sister. बाजी means elder sister. कोशिश ही ना करता means he would never try. वे दोनों अलबत्ता उसकी बोली पर हंसने के लिए उसे छेड़ती. Now, they would rather keep teasing him to, make fun of his language. Here, albata means rather. Uski boli means his way of talking or his language. छेड़ती means they would tease him. परंतु जब बात बढ़ने लगती तो दादी बीच बचाव करवा देती. But whenever it becomes too much, then his grandma would come in between. Iffin's grandma, she would come in between and then she would stop them. ते काहे को जाते उन सबन के पास मुंह पटावे को झाड़ू मारे. Why do you go to all of them to get beatings or to be teased? That is what she meant. चल इधर आ, you come here. वह डांट कर कहती. She would say as if, she was scolding Topi Shukla. परंतु हर शब्द शक्कर का खिलौना बन जाता. But शक्कर का खिलौना means something very sweet. So whatever words she would say, even though she was acting as if she was scolding him, those sounds sounded very sweet to Topi Shukla. Amavat ban jata, and he compares those words to amavat. Amavat is a sweet which is made out of mango juice, thick mango juice. It is dried in the sun and it is made with that. So I have given a picture of amavat here. In Hindi, it is also known as aam papad. Tilva ban jata. Topi Shukla would feel as if they are tilva. Tilva means til ke laddu or the sesame laddus. और वह चुपचाप उनके पास चला जाता. And quietly he would go near her, near the grandma, Irfan's grandma. तोरी अम्मा क्या कर रही? What is your mother doing? तोरी means your. दादी हमेशा यहीं से बात शुरू करती. She would always start a conversation from this sentence or with this sentence. पहले तो वह चकरा जाता कि यह अम्मा क्या होता है. Initially he would get very confused, thinking what is this amma. फिर वह समझ गया कि माता जी को कहते हैं. Then later he understood that amma means mother. यह शब्द उसे अच्छा लगा. And Topi Shukla liked this word, amma, mother. वह इस शब्द को गुड़ की डली की तरह चुभलाता रहता. Gud ki dali means like a candy made up of gud. Gud is jaggery. And this word would keep, chubhlata raha means he would keep uh, repeating those words in his mouth. Amma, Abbu, Baji, these words he used to like a lot. फिर एक दिन गजब हो गया. Gazab ho gaya means one day something very strange happened. Now what happened? डॉक्टर भृगु नारायण शुक्ला नीले तेल वाले के घर में भी 20वीं सदी प्रवेश कर चुकी थी. Now the author is going to talk about some developments that have taken place in Topi Shukla's house. His father was Dr. Bhrigu Narayan Shukla. Maybe he was also known as Neele Tel Wala. Neela Tel means blue oil, a person who sells blue oil. There also, the 21st century or the 20th century had entered. That means the author is going to talk about some development which has taken place in their house. Yani, khana मेज kursi par hota tha. Now they started having their meals on the table and their chair. लगती तो थालियां ही थी. They would put on plates only, the steel plates on the table, but चौके पर नहीं, but not on the floor. उस दिन ऐसा हुआ कि बैंगन का भुर्ता उसे जरा ज्यादा अच्छा लगा. Now that day it so happened that a dish called bangan ka bhurta. Now this bangan ka bhurta means something which is made up of brinjals. They heat the brinjal, they mash it, add a lot of masalas to it, and they make it. So that day, Topi Shukla liked this a lot. Ram Dulari khana paros rahi thi. Ram Dulari must be their servant. Normally, such names are given to maids. Topi ne kaha, she was serving the food. Topi ne kaha, Topi said, Ammi, zara bangan ka bhurta. Suddenly, the word Ammi came in his mouth, and the moment the others they heard this word, मेज पर जितने हाथ थे रुक गए. How many other hands were there on the table? Maze means table. They all stopped. जितनी आंखें थी वो टोपी के चेहरे पर जम गई. All the eyes which were present there, they froze on Topi's face. टोपी के चेहरे पर means on his face. जम गई means they froze on his face. अम्मी, यह शब्द इस घर में कैसे आया? How did this word come to this house? अम्मी, परंपराओं की दीवारें डोलने लगी. The wall of traditions started shaking. Here, paramparaएं means traditions, दीवार means wall. That means in their house never is this word used, and they were wondering how he got the word. ये लफ्ज तुमने कहाँ सीखा? Where did you learn this word from? Lafz means word. सुभद्रा देवी ने सवाल किया. सुभद्रा देवी questioned him. सवाल किया means questioned him. Thank you for watching Rivora Tube. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and press the bell icon. Take care and best wishes for your exams.